Stentors. A smart man steers clear of Stentor, and keeps himself out of the dungeon when she's having a bad day. Let's just say that the headsman's axe may not be the worst way for a Solitude jail prisoner to die. Look at that. I've told you to watch your tongue, and mine is waggling. I've said enough. I make sure Erica keeps breathing. You are free to leave.
I know your kind. Always sneaking
hello.
about.
Just tidying. Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafingar's people will always be safe under my
Your
rule.
Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragon Bridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction
Don't
might be
mess
called
anything
for.
up while you're here. Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragon Bridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
I've got what I came for. I better get back to Dragon Bridge. I've done my part. Dragon Bridge will have extra guards. Falk Firebeard will find a way to take care of the cave. I'd better get going.
Aye, now that there's a beautiful sword. Please address all questions to the steward, Falk Firebeard. My duty is to keep the Jarl safe, not play nursemaid to you sycophants.
If I needed something from you, you would know it. Take a look. Nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered unless I'm expecting something from you. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial task to set your mind on. We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drained. I know of a den nearby you can wipe out as a precaution. I don't expect you to be capable of even that. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Because Ulfric needed a symbol. Someone he could defeat that represented the Empire. The White Gold Concordat, the banning of Talos worship. Toryg's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Toryg became that symbol. No, even after Islot died, the Moot voted to make Toryg High King of Skyrim. But Ulfric was at that Moot, continually talking about Skyrim's independence in terms just shy of treason. I don't think Ulfric knew how much Toryg respected him for that. If Ulfric had asked Toryg directly to stand up, to declare independence, Toryg might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the Imperial Army even now. Because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the God was once Tiber Septim the man, and this is his empire. And Toryg wasn't ready to let it fall apart. Not really. Varnius Junius is a fool. I'm sure nothing will come of it. I suppose if you're truly interested, you could talk to Falk. He's the better safe than sorry type. I was a member of the court during the reign of Toryg's father. It was Toryg who appointed me to the position. I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was, and I know when one should speak, and when one should hold their tongue. I was a member of the court during the reign of Toryg's... I helped raise him. Oh, I could not have been more proud to see Torg on the throne. He made a fine king. A fine king.
Lightning show going. It stabbed the sword through Buddy, lifted him in the air, and then lightning fucking hit the
I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Ulfric showed up at the Gates of Solitude, requesting an audience. We thought he was here to ask Torg to declare independence. By the time we realized Ulfric was here to challenge Torg, it was already too late. By Nord custom, once the challenge was issued in court, Torg had no choice but to accept. Had he not, Ulfric would have had cause to call a new moot and a new vote for High King. Torg had some martial training, of course, but it mattered little that day. When Ulfric's lips parted, when he unleashed the power of the Thu'um, that shout, that ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Torg asunder. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge.
Do you have business with the... Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward. Of course he does. What sort of a... Maybe you've been listening to Erikur. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed. She may be... You do well to remember that.
Vampires are
That
clever
remains
hunters.
to be seen.
More clever than you,
By
definitely.
rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you, I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now. But everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is open.
Is everything all right? I've not heard from Sorley or Pactor in some time. That's good news. I was starting to fear something had happened. You have my thanks. It's been an honor. I can always find time to share a word with a warrior.
The Imperials are good for business, and business is good for Skyrim. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that. Oh, most certainly. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without
Be
me.
quick.
If you
I
have
little
business,
patience for
please see
mundane
Falk
concerns.
Firebeard. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torg was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig. And so he came before my husband and he shouted with that terrible voice, like something out of a legend or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say, for it grieves me to speak of it. Be well. Pray for Solitude.